Hello guys, welcome back once again. So today we are going to learn administrator role in the firewalls. So basically, we are focusing on the Palo Alto Firewall. So we will be continuing that. So whenever you are logging on the Palo Alto Firewall, there are some users who are able to make the config changes on the firewall, while others cannot. So it is very important for the security point of view that who are the administrators, means that who are having the authority, or we can say the privileges, to make the changes to the firewall, whilst other might be having access but they will not be able to make all the changes. So it is like access management, we can say. So administrators, so they are some super users. Super users means they can do anything whatever they want, while others they can be like admin but read only. And some of them, there is, this is just one concept, that is basically dynamic type of role, and another one is like role based. Role based means that I will be providing you access whatever you want, like you are having the different tabs, but I will assess your job, that which type of job you are having. Based on those requirements only I will give you an access. So rather than just focusing on theory, let's just have a practical demonstration, and that will make you clear that what exactly they are and how administrators are managed in Palo Alto Firewall. Go to this Windows machine here and log on the firewall. My IP address was 10.1.1.1, and that's how we will be logged on to the device. So first job will be to check what is my user type. Either my name is admin, but what roles I'm having. Am I the super user? Am I administrator? I can do many changes. It can be right that the username is admin, but actually I'm just read only. I cannot access anything. So irrespective of the name admin, what are the role type I'm having? So to check the roles, you can go to the device tab here, right? You see the device, you can go to the device here, and there you are having multiple options. You observe it here, like we are having administrators here, right? On the left side we are having admin roles, authentication profile, authentication sequence, and user identification will not be using. Another thing is our password profile. So these four things are related basically to the admi- administrator privileges. So first thing, and which is our administrators. So who are the users as of now? So we are having only one user, that is admin, from where I logged on. So the role of my user, that is admin, is super user. And you can also check it here, that what is your username, right? You see in the bottom you are having logged on via admin. Last login time was this, when I was last logged on, right? So it was 18th Feb when I was last logged on. And if you want to log it out, you can log out from this your user. All right, and this time I'm an admin and super user here. Let me just create one user to show you that how basically they can be created. So in order to add the user, you can click add here, add. Now actually your game start. Name you can put any, like test user. All right, another thing is like authentication profile. This is very important, what you are selecting, that authentication profile. If you see it here, there are multiple authentication profile, means that you are having things that from to whom you want to authenticate it. If you click it here, new authentication profile, so there was one way, you click it here. Another way was you would have gone to this authentication profile, this here, right? You see this tab, authentication profile. So rather than going from here authentication profile, firstly you have directly clicked it here and you have popped up with this page authentication profile. So if I don't want to select any of the authentication profile, you just leave as it is. You don't have to do anything. I will come back to this, that what are the benefits and which type of things we can do it here. Another thing is we can set up the password here. I'm putting as admin123. All right. So now our next thing comes our role type, means that which type of access you want to give it to. You want to give it to the dynamic administrator type, or you can give it a role based. Right now we are selecting with the dynamic. So let's see that what is happening in the dynamic. Whenever it is dynamic, if you see this drop down, you see that there are only 4 options, right? And these 4 options are superuser, superuser read only, device administrator, and device administrator read only. Now superuser means he can do anything. Whatever I am logged on, I can do anything in the firewall. Another guy is superuser read only. So he can access everything, but he can have read only access. Another guy is device administrator. Device administrator means he can do all the things, but he cannot create virtual systems in the Palo Alto firewalls. I know that you might not be knowing what are the virtual systems, but it is like an instance of your firewall. So like you inside your firewall, you can have multiple images, you can say multiple instances of the firewall. Don't worry, we will come back to that virtual systems. So that you cannot do. Another thing, you cannot create a user, means that whatever I'm doing I'm right now, this thing you cannot do if you are a device administrator, not a super user. And next thing is device administrator read only, so you can just view everything. That's it. So this is just 4 options dynamic, but this does not give you too much control. So whenever you want more control, we can go to the role based. Whenever we are going to role based, it is asking you to select the profile. So we are having only 4 profile as of now, but this is really interesting, that which type of profile you want to give it to. So now we are having 3 queries. Whenever we went to create an administrator, we are having 3 queries left with. The first one was authentication profile that we have to create, or we have to select. Another thing, we have to select this profile, administrator type profile, that which profile you want to use it, if you want to customize it. Another thing is you have to select a password profile. So 3 things we are going to learn. So these 3, rather than I'm going ahead, I'm canceling this and I will explain these profile first, and then I will come back to it once again. Let's cancel it, clear this written part. So first thing what I'm going to tell you, I'm going to tell you admin roles. So these are the profiles. The second point I'm going to tell you. So role based administrators. So there are some customized or the default profiles available. You can see them here, that what are the options they are having. Like whenever if you select it here as an audit and admin, then he will not be viewing this dashboard. Means that whenever if you provide this role to any of the guy, he will not be able to see this tab. This tab will be invisible for him, right? We have cross for this dashboard, so you can see that this tab will be disabled here. ACC tab, this will also be disabled if we use this audit admin type of things. Another thing, we can go to the bottom here and let's see what else we are having. So this is the thing that if you want to use this customized profile, you can use them. if they are matching your requirement. But by chance, if they do not match your requirement, right, then what are you going to do? In that case, you can create your own customized profile. When you select it, you can give any of the name, like let us suppose I want to create an user, and to whom I don't want to give any access to the ACC tab and monitor tab. I will not give these two tabs, and I will give him an objects tab, but inside our objects I will not give some of the features. So let me give them as a name as a no monitor, that he cannot monitor, right? Or you can give any name whichever is feasible and self-explanatory, but rather than I'm just giving it as right now. So I am not giving him ACC, so I will disable ACC tab for this user. I will disable monitor tab for this user. When I select monitor, these all monitors options are gone. I will give access to the objects here, right? So where is objects? Network, I think I missed it. Yeah, here it is objects. So I want to give him objects, but I want him that he cannot create address and address groups. So whenever I'm giving this option, he can view this is right. Whenever we are having this log symbol, it means that this is a read only. He will be able to see these users, but he will not be able to make any changes. He will be having just read only access. So let's click OK here. So this one job is done. We have created a customized admin roles for a specific user based on my requirement. Next thing was authentication profile. So let's go to authentication profile and let's add one of the authentication profile. Whenever you go for the authentication profile, you can give it any of the name. I'm not giving name right now. Let's see the option what we are having. So on the type, we are having none. We are having local database. We are having the radius. We are having LDAP server. We are having TACACS, SAML, and Kerberos. So whenever we are having this none or local database, it means that the authentication is being done on this local database. All right. Another thing, you are aware this radius and LDAP and TACACS. So these are basically these two authentication servers, means that you are having a server here, right? This is, let's suppose, your server. This is your firewall, and you want to authenticate these are your radius server, not the normal server, authentication server we can say. And this is your firewalls, and any user coming to your firewall, you want to authenticate him to the radius server, then a request comes to back to this firewall. So what happens that we have to set up an integration of radius server with the firewall. So was first we set up communication trust between authentication server and the firewall, and then the request will be coming to the firewall, authenticating through the authentication server and coming back. So that's what we normally do. So for that one, like we can use radius server, TACACS server, or we can also use our LDAP, that is an AD server from the Microsoft, right? We can set up a Kerberos. Based on that one, we can also configure single sign-on SSO. You might be using SSO in your organization. So that's how we do it. So as per your requirement, you integrate it, and then you make the name according to that. So if you want to select let us suppose LDAP, you can give the name here as an LDAP profile. So whenever I selected LDAP, now you see that it is asking the server profile. It is logging attribute, whatever the logging you are want to for that LDAP server. What is the domain you want to use for that domain? Because whenever you are creating a AD server or creating the username inside, first you create the domain name, and inside the domain name you create the user. So the same thing it is asking here, and again it will ask any security things that you are integrating these things with the AD server. So this is required. So I'm not going to tell you that server configuration or AD server configuration, because that will be like another 1 to 2 hours. It will take 1 to 2 hours just a basic, because AD server is just an entire separate course for that, right? So as of now I'm just using our none. All right, so none is already there, so nothing to create as of now. And yeah, one more thing, that if you want to configure that multi-factor authentication, you can select it here. Go to the factors, like multi-factor authentication. If you want to add it here, let us suppose, then you can select the vendor, that from which vendor you want to use your app, right? So these are the things, options are available, but it depends that what you want to use it. Another thing was like password profiles. So in the password profile we are having options like let us suppose expire 3 months. So if you have created any of the password, now you want to required password change period, so you want to change the password in 90 days, that after 90 days your password change will be required. Expiration warning period, when before your password expires, before how many days you start giving an warning to the users, that comes here, right? So we can select any of the days. Post expiration admin login count, how many users you want to allow to them. So the option is like 2 times you can give him grace period, that even the password expire but still he can log in the 2 times. Or you can want to give privileges based on the days, that after how many days he can log on. So this is your requirement, based on that you can give to the users. I was on the administrators. I was creating a user here, name with the test user. So now you are very much clear that what are these authentication profiles. So I'm not using any of the authentication profile. I'm using local database or none. Password I'm giving admin123, admin123. Role based I'll be using, and one of the what I have just created, that is no monitor. Password profile I have not created any, so I will be using none. And once I hit OK and commit it, that user will be created. Commit is successful, and in order to check it, let's log out here and log in with the new user. So new user was test user and the password was admin123. Let me log it in. We selected a role based thing, right? So on the role based we can remember that we did not give access to the ACC tab and monitor tab, right? So now you see that the user is not having these options. All right, so he is not having the ACC tab here or the monitor tab. He is having just network here, but in the network as well he was not allowed to use our groups. Not on the networks, that was on the object. So in the network he can have all the privileges, right? You see that his add is he's having access to add. He, if you want to add the zones, he can add it. There's no restrictions on that, right? He can add zones here, there's no issues on that. But we have restricted him in the objects field and he cannot create an address. So you see that this add field is grayed out. If I click it here, it is not allowing to add. Or if I want to give him the address groups, then also it is grayed out. He can view it here, whatever the address and address groups will be there, they will be visible here, but he cannot add or modify these, right? And if you want to export it, this PDF and CSV, then he can also do. In the reasons and other things, he is having access, he can add and delete, right? So that's how we manage the administrator roles. And in order to, if you want to learn more on this, right, because so always explore our Palo Alto Office administrator roles in Palo Alto. So let's check. So always go to this our docs palo alto networks.com, and it just clearly tells you that what are the users type, what are the dynamic roles, and inside them what are the access will be given to you. right? So this is how these are actually. You can always just not all suggestion that whenever you are referring any of the requirements of your firewall, always go to the official website, not going to any other website providing information, because that might not be correct or updated, and you just mess up your firewall and end up with any of the outages, escalations and all, right? Because whenever any escalation or outage comes in the firewall, it's always massive or huge. It's not simple that you just messed up only a switch or a router, so only small part is gone, because firewall is really critical device and it handles a lot of traffic. So that's it on the administrator roles. You can try it on your machine if you want, if not, but I will suggest to do it. And that's it. And in the coming sessions we will come with the security policies or the traffic inspection. All right, see you soon in the next session. Till that, bye bye.